the live. This is 20 Questions with Jay, and I am here with the one and only Honey Lover Friend. How you doing, girl?
Hey, I'm good. How's everyone? How are you? How is everyone?
I am doing fine, girl. I've actually been having a really nice day, a really nice Sunday. How's your Sunday going?
I mean, it's been low key. I was getting into a little bit of content earlier, so that's why I'm a little bit dolled up. But
You
yeah,
look really cute though. I'm really
thank
feeling
you.
that tie. I like that. I like your
Thank
style.
you.
You're so cute.
Thank you.
You're welcome, love. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into these questions. Are you ready?
I think so. All right. I'm
Okay.
a I'm a big introvert, and I can be really awkward. So
No,
be
you're
patient with
completely
me.
fine. You are completely fine, girl. It is no problem at all. All right. So, question number one. What made you want to get onto YouTube?
Wait, I thought I was asking the questions. Oh, I'm asking questions on my channel. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. What made me want to get onto YouTube? Okay, so I think it's been a long time passion of mine. I have been watching YouTube for at least 2 decades. And ever since then, I've just been really, really into the app and the content creators, and I've seen the growth. And I always had that pull. Anybody who's been watching YouTube for forever since I started out with like Jackie Aina and You Love Megs and Peak Mill, like from the very beginning. And like YouTube just always has like soft place in your heart. So it always drew me in, especially me being creative. I feel
Yeah,
like it's one of the best platforms to be able to authentically express yourself.
I agree 100% for sure. I like that answer. That was really good. That was really deep. Okay, girl.
Thank
All
you.
right. Question number two. What are your top three fashion designers?
Top three fashion designers. Okay, I gotta think about that. Cause you know what? I'm not actually, as much as I create like style and fashion content, I'm not really heavy on the designers. I'm not. I just take like, because I watch YouTube, I see other
Hmm.
content creators and they speak to certain designers and then you kind of get a good sense. But let's see. Um, I think Balmain,
Hmm.
because they're always so like edgy and they have like, I don't know, they just have their own like interesting aesthetic. So I appreciate that. I'm kind of like, I lean a little bit more to the rock star chic side of things as well. So that's kind of why I like them. That's like my top. What else? Who else? Oh, that's a hard question. I honestly am not heavy on the designer side. Mm, I feel like I can see pieces, but I can't see names. So I'm just gonna
Mm.
let's just say Ballman is my top.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. Wow, I was actually surprised because when I look at your page, I'm so into seeing that you just love to like dress up and go off of all type of pieces and stuff. So I thought you was probably deep into designers and catching up with everything when it comes to fashion shows and whatnot.
Absolutely not. Well, while you say fashion shows, I can definitely say that Chloe is definitely on my radar. I'm a big like boho chic kind of girl. Like I'm actually pretty just like chill, and so that's why I'm really not heavy into the designs because I just have my own like flow. I have my own energy. Like I just kind of switch back and forth, kind of like like Tracy Ellis Ross,
Yeah.
like her style, like how she can be like super menswear sometimes, and then sometimes she's just extra feminine. I'm just like my own thing. I'm just really not heavy into the designers like that. I don't got designer money either, so that could also speak to the fact.
That could definitely speak to this fact. I sure don't have
Yeah.
it either, girl. Okay. Hey, you
Hey,
guys.
Kenneth.
Hey, Kenneth. Thank you so much for tuning into the live. You guys, please make sure that you're double tapping the screen and making sure that you are showing my girl some love. This is Honey Lover Friend. She's here answering 20 questions with Jay. Please make sure that you engage with her page. Make sure you subscribe and see what she's all about, okay? Hey, Chevy Chick. Hey, babes. All
Thank
right.
you, thank you.
You are so welcome. Question number three. If you was a president, what would be the first thing you'll sign into law?
This is where the self censorship comes in. um, The first thing I would sign into law. Oh, it's heavy on the politics. I feel like I feel like I am very passionate about my people. I feel like I'm very passionate about Black people. So when you ask me
Mhm.
that type of thing, I'm thinking about what can maximize like our freedoms and our rights. But
Mm,
like, what would that look like? What would that sound like? How could we enforce it?
mhm.
And then why should we? So
Yeah.
it's deep in the politics. That question is loaded for me. Yeah.
No, I feel you, girl.
I feel like
So it's
something
just
along the
like
lines of like also just like equality and equal access to my whole thing because I have a whole social work background in a separate life. So my whole thing is allowing people to enhance their quality of life and have equal access to things,
yeah.
right? And that would just
Mhm.
level the playing field and absolutely just cancel a lot of the issues that we have, modern day issues we have right now.
Yeah, I believe that too, to be honest. I feel like a lot of things that people are going through has a lot of the whole equality has a lot to do with why some people have like setbacks and
Yeah,
whatnot,
and
or
it's
probably haven't gone
heavily
as far. Hmm.
It's heavily and deeply rooted in racism, so that's why I really don't wanna get too deep into
Oh no, you
the
don't have to get
politics
too
of
deep. No problem, girl. Okay, so question number 4. What is your biggest setback in life?
my biggest setback in life. My biggest setback in life, I feel like it was me feeling like I was grown when I wasn't. Me trying to do all of the things when I wasn't ready. I was just a seedling, and I really just needed to take the time to be watered and just
Hmm.
understand life, but I was in a rush. I was in a hurry to go nowhere essentially, and yeah.
Yeah, I can agree. I feel like a lot of people, especially the younger generation, especially like back in the day when we was younger too, where we didn't really have like as much social media as it is now, like actually growing up and we were more like hands-on involved with everybody. I felt like I feel like we kind of just like dang near we're our own parents and whatnot. Like I feel like because back then when we just had friends, like more people were able to like persuade because you was more involved with people versus how it is now where most people kind of talk to each other over the phone or through the internet. Not a lot of people kind of like hang out like how it used to be back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay,
definitely
girl.
learned experienced a lot of things through trial and error. Oh, I don't have any fashion designs, Kenneth. I'm just shopping my closet and putting looks together and showing people how simple and easy it is.
Mm. He said, how does
How do
she
I
see platform helping her achieve her goals? How do you see
Yeah, so
YouTube helping you to achieve your goals?
in terms of YouTube, I'm nowhere near on the fashion design side. Um I think in terms of my channel basically is a lifestyle channel. Right now, I'm just curating affordable fashions. And so I'm just pulling from different affordable brands and also what's available in my closet to show people how you can put modern looks together without tapping out your budget. And then the other side of it right now is just me growing within my faith. And I'm really trying to build myself on a through a Christ centered journey. So that's where I am in that. I don't design clothes
Okay.
whatsoever. I do have a sewing machine that I would like to get into. I'm currently on a no buy year, so I need to get in, I need to learn how to perfect that skill in order for that to be successful as well.
Hmm. Okay, girl. So the next question I have here for you is, what's the most important lesson you took from a past relationship?
Mm, The most important lesson I took from a past relationship. Um, I
That could
feel
be a
like
girl
that
or a
would
guy.
be yeah. mm, Honestly, overall, I feel like in life, I felt like I should have prioritized myself a lot more. I feel like I took too long to choose me. And that's just across the span of all relationships. I feel like I can be nice to a fault. So that's one of the things that I learned. Not that I'm a pushover by any means, it's just that like I pour way too much into people more, and that distracts me from myself.
Okay, girl. I feel that. I really do. Hi, Robert. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please make sure to tap the screen and show your girl some love. I am here with Honey Lover Friend, and she is doing 20 Questions with Jay. Please make sure to go and check out her page. Try to subscribe if you can, get some videos in, check her out, and see what she's all about, okay?
Thank you.
So, the next question I have here for you is, what are you holding on to that holds you back in life?
What am I holding on to that holds me back in life? I feel like I'm going to answer this question from the opposite perspective. I feel like I'm holding on to my creativity, and that is what's holding me back in life,
Mm.
right? So, whereas other people might see it in a negative, I feel like I am not tapping into my full potential, and that's what's
Mm.
holding me back in life. Hello, big boss dog. Thank you, Robert.
Yes, thank you, Robert. Thank you so much for supporting. All right, so the next question that I have here for you is, what was the moment that you felt you were most motivated?
The moment I felt I was most motivated. Um, yeah, I'm just going to try to answer these questions off the top of my head because we can't read too deep into everything. All right, so I feel like the moment I felt that I was most motivated was, um, I think at the moment where I knew that I was losing my grandfather and legacy was so important to him. I felt
Mhm.
like that motivated me to make sure that I was able to accomplish that for him, right? Me
Oh.
being like the eldest grandchild, so I'm the firstborn grandchild in my family, right? And so with that, like I had a very, very close bond to my grandfather. My mother's
Mm.
also his firstborn child as well. So with that, like especially with my grandparents being immigrants from the Caribbean, coming to Canada to try to build like a new life and all of that, I feel like I owe him that much.
Mm. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. What part of the Caribbeans are you from?
My mom is from Jamaica. My dad is from St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Oh, have you like been out there recently or been out
Not
there at all?
recently. Not
Mm-hmm.
recently. I haven't been to Jamaica for a few years now, and St. Vincent I haven't traveled to as yet, but that's definitely like one of my dream destinations.
I feel that. I heard a lot about that place, and I know it's so beautiful because I looked it up before. I had went to Antigua last year in August,
Mm,
back in 2024, and I seen so many pictures of that because I was looking at a lot of other tropical islands to go and visit. So yeah, that place is most definitely beautiful, and it's on my list as well.
mhm.
Mm-hmm. All right, girl. So the next question I have here for you is, if you can participate in one historical event, what would it be and why?
Okay, we're just gonna be we're just gonna go straight off the top because I can't even get too deep in that. But my first thought is I'm going to a Tupac concert for sure. I'm just going to a Tupac concert.
No, I
It's not that
that
deep.
that no, that would be so lit. I feel that. Like I would even think of like how the parties were back in the days, like when hip hop first started, when people was really living them lives. Like that's amazing. Hey you guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in. This is 20 Questions with Jay, and I am here with Honey Lover Friends. So please make sure to go and check out her page. Make sure to subscribe and like view her content and show her support, you guys. So, the next question I have here for you is, would you rather lose all of your memories or would you never be able to make new ones?
Hmm. I never make new ones. Never make new ones
Mm-hmm.
because the past memories are what you cherish the most, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you would be missing them, you would be missing out. going forward in the
Mhm.
future, and we're supposed to live in the present anyway, so whatever is
Right.
going on right now is going on right now, so I'll leave that for the present and hold on to my past memories, because there's just things that you can never get back. You can live a brand new day every day with having no memories whatsoever, but definitely cherishing things of the past.
I feel that, and I picked the same answer as well. When I had thought of that, I was like, I would do this, but I wonder what you would say. So the next question I have on here is,
Hello,
do you
everyone. Sorry.
Hey, how are you, Terry? Thank you so much for joining in. This is 20 Questions with Jay, and I am here with Honey Lover Friend. Make sure to please check out her channel, give her a subscribe if you can, and explore everything that she has going on with her channel. She's an amazing lady, and I'm pretty sure that you'll love her too.
Thank you. Kenneth
So,
had a question.
you're
That's a good
welcome.
question,
Oh,
Kenneth. If I see myself providing services to the private sector and helping them create outfits from their private wardrobes for a fee. Um, Short answer is no. And I may be cutting myself off of an income stream, but short answer is no, because I am really appreciating living in my creativity. And I feel like when you are loaning that to others, because that's essentially what this service would be, it could take away from that experience. And when you turn your passions into profit, it can take away from the overall experience and your love of it in general. So like, I've been on this planet for a few decades now, so right now I'm just doing me.
that was a really good question, Kenneth. Kenneth is Kenneth, I don't know if you've seen the live that I did
Yeah, the
yesterday. We
last
did
one.
it over to Too New for
New
You,
for
or so it
Yeah.
seems. I actually spoke about you on that live because of a question I was asked. But yes, so the next question that I have here for you is, what job would you do if you wasn't getting paid?
um I would probably work with children. I probably would work with children, like babies.
Yeah.
I love babies. I don't want any more, but I love babies,
Mhm.
and I love the presence of the innocence of children.
Yeah, I love that too. I love the fact that babies are, like, as far, like, it's so wild to me, like, babies, they're not born with hate in their heart. They literally learn that from just dealing with today's society and who they're around, and like what type of trauma you probably have going on. People don't realize that as you go on in life, especially if you are raising kids, that you're literally exposing them to everything that you're dealing with at the moment. Even if you don't think that is rolling off, it really is, especially when they're starting to really learn. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Little things that you don't think really mean anything because, you're not really paying attention to it. Little kids are, because they're learning every day. And yeah, they remember things like that. And you don't even know when your child will have their, like, first, like, when they're actually able to, like, start remembering for real. You don't ever pick up on that instant moment. So people need to really be careful when it comes to children. So yeah.
Yeah, they're very
Hmm.
impressionable. They're very
Yeah.
fragile, vulnerable, right?
I feel that. Hey, Be Real, how are you? Thank you guys so much for joining the live. I appreciate that. Please make sure that you're double tapping the screen and make sure you show my girl some love here. This is Honey Lover Friend. Please make sure that you go over to her page and check her out. Give her a subscribe and make sure you check out her content to show her some support, okay? Thank y'all so much. So, the next question that I have here for you is, what is one part of your daily routine that you can do better without?
Better without.
Yeah.
I could do better without the lack of sleep. I could do better without that for sure. So I'm like, what routine? I'm working really hard on establishing a healthier routines in the new year. And that definitely involves having better sleep hygiene and an evening routine, because I could definitely do better with a lot better sleep.
I feel that. So Kenneth has a question here. So he said, do you find that people have Do you find that people have heavy or that people are heavy into the faith trend to be more on guard or close themselves off to positive opportunities out of fear?
I think that close themselves off to positive opportunities out of fear. From my personal experience, because I can't speak on behalf of everyone, or maybe just those that I've been exposed to, I don't think that that hasn't been my personal experience. I haven't been closed off to opportunities out of fear. I feel like your faith from a strong sense of faith, you should have a weaker sense of fear. And so with that, you shouldn't feel challenged to accept positive opportunities, if I understand your question properly. So the biggest demonstration of faith would be for you to pursue those opportunities, or even challenge those opportunities that you fear the most if you feel like your God
Hmm.
is who you say your God is.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like I'm really big on challenging or like trying to be able to overcome a challenge. I like taking on challenges. I feel like the reason why is because I have a strong feeling that I'm always going to level up in my life, in my spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I'll just be able to just kind of, I don't know, it's just something that I like to do. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm really heavy on doing what I'm doing on my page as far as me being consistent every single day, because I've heard of so many people tell everybody that you cannot get monetized within a year as a small and new YouTuber that's never had a YouTube channel before. And I plan on making them wrong. So yeah. So and
Yeah, there's always
I have strong
exceptions
feelings.
to the rule. I don't know if I believe in that either. Like, it's not impossible to
It's
be
not.
monetized within a year. I feel like, especially in this current like climate,
Mhm.
it's more likely than not,
Yeah,
honestly.
I think so too. I think the thing that stops people is a year really is somewhat of a long time, especially if you're like doing YouTube and you stop, and it has a lot to do with content, like you running out of content or not knowing what to do
Mm,
or get unmotivated. And when you
mhm.
stop and then you start back like months later, what I be telling people a whole lot in my videos, YouTube literally gives you a whole year free. So once you hit your year mark of when you first made your YouTube video, your watch hours start to disappear daily from the first day that you had created that video, and you're literally going to be going against yourself. That's what makes it hard for people, because instead of it just stacking up to reach the number it needs to be at, it's literally going down every day as you're posting every day, and you're literally going against yourself. So I think that is where most people end up finding it to be more challenging than what it needs to be, you know? But
Yeah.
yeah.
And
So
I'm a big
mhm,
YouTube nerd behind the scenes, and this isn't my first channel. I've spoken to this before. I don't know if you caught the videos or not. Sometimes I say my piece and then I put it on private. But like, I had another channel in the past, and it wasn't what I set out for it to be. I just was kind of rolling with the flow and just sticking with what the YouTube gurus would say. And so uh, I was shopping, and then I ended up doing some recordings in the store, and I just threw it up there. And then I realized that it was getting a lot of traction. I was like, okay, well, the YouTube gurus say, repeat, like do whatever works. So then I was going out and doing the same recordings on a regular basis, not knowing that that was a whole niche in and of itself. As I started to do it, I started to see more people were actually doing it and getting crazy numbers. And for me, at that point, it was just something for me to do just because I was going through so much. And then I did it, and I was outside on a regular basis. Like, I put the work in, and I honestly, Jay, I had about 8,000 watch hours within
what?
the first like 6 months or so, right? And that was like consistent, maybe like 3 to 4 videos a week, and then throwing in some shorts in there. And then the only thing I was like, what, 7, 8, 9, 10, 300 short of 1,000 subs. But I basically, I was basically I was sick and then I had to have surgery. So the surgery had me sat, couldn't move, couldn't walk, couldn't anything. I even tried to go out and I was like in pain. I had to sit down. And from there, my channel just, and I just had
Mm,
to walk away from it. But so I for sure know it is not impossible. You just have to find
yeah.
that right niche for you, because not necessarily
Mhm.
what works for you is for everyone, right? Like how
Yeah,
everyone says, "Oh, do what
exactly.
I do, and you'll get."
Yeah,
No, no,
nah.
no. And then now everybody's doing the same thing, and like, no, mind you, 1,000 people could have the same content. You have to have your own
Mhm.
spin on it. But what's for you is for you,
Yes, mhm. Exactly,
and
yeah.
that's it.
Mhm.
Boss dog, are you asking for a friend? You
Child,
like, do you have
child,
somebody in mind?
child. Let me see. So Kenneth has a question. He said, "What is your view as a beautiful African American woman towards international dating and marriage? Does your belief on this topic stem from past experiences or just what your peers or family taught you?"
Kenneth, that is a great question. I think you found the right person. Okay, so what is your view as a beautiful African American woman towards interracial dating and marriage? Okay, so I'm going to probably give you a little bit of some nerd, not so much stats, I don't have numbers. But this was based on an article that I had read also many years ago in Essence. And so basically, when you are, and this is a little bit controversial, I apologize in advance for anyone who's offended. When you are a woman of a certain status, so when you are a woman of a certain socioeconomic background and all of those things, society encourages you to either date down or date out. So that applies to, so when we're speaking about Black women and Black men, it is statistically known that Black men earn less than Black women and all of those things. So that essentially would be gauging you to date down. Now, should you want to date up, the numbers lean more in favor of those outside of the Black race. So
Mm,
that would prompt you to date someone who isn't Black. So when you're speaking about interracial dating and interracial marriages, basically what it's saying is if you would, for the best, most like, for the best success rate, you would have to date out. So for someone like me, they would encourage me to date out. So for that, I'm not entirely opposed. However, I'm currently decentering men, and so that really isn't my business. It's not my problem. I, it doesn't apply to me. I've been on the planet for a couple decades, so I've been married already. I have a grown kid. I'm well aware of what it is and what it looks like, and that's why I stressed I'm just doing me in this current season. But those are just the facts. Those are the stats, and that's it. I am a huge nerd. I am a sociology major, all of the things. So you're gonna get the facts.
mm. I like that answer.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, yes, period. Okay, so the next question that I have for you here is, what's the question you wish people would ask you when they first meet you for the first time?
Ooh. Um, when they first meet me for the first time, I think something around like my interests, like gauge my interests, like what do I like? What do I want to experience that I never have? Like open me up to experiences and share your own. I think that's it. You can always get me from a creative angle. Um, I'm also a lover of all types of music, so that too will reel me in for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. I feel that. Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I feel like most people when they meet people, it doesn't really, I don't know. I guess it depends on who you're really talking to. But most people, I don't really feel like they ever really have a conversation to deeply get to know you the first time because they're probably
Mhm.
not sure if they will ever like, it's almost like it's like just really like shallow, like they'll never see you again, so it doesn't matter. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
And
yeah.
I'm not even that type of person. I don't really engage with people like on that like superficial level like that. Again, I'm nice to a fault, but I feel like for me, why I'm also a lot more open and receptive to people is because people often misread me. And
Mm,
because I'm an introvert, right? My personality, I'm an introvert. However, the way that I present to the world does not read introvert. So if you see me quiet
it
and minding,
doesn't. It
it doesn't.
doesn't.
No. So if you see me quiet and minding my own business, you are going to assume that I am rude, that I am disrespectful, that I have already judged you, that I hate you, that all of these
Mm,
things. Meanwhile, I am like just minding my own business. Like you would be surprised. The life of an introvert, you'd be surprised. We could be in a staff meeting of people that I've worked with for 5 and 6, 7 years, and you could ask me to say what's my name and my favorite color, and I'm practicing in my brain 10 times. For what reason? None. That's just the life of an introvert. So yeah, I feel like that's the thing with me meeting people for the first time is people often misread me, and like we have this thing like in my culture, like people call me stush and all of these things. I'm really not. I'm just quiet and I'm not shy. So ask me a question, I'll answer for sure.
mm-hmm. Hey, Susan. How you doing, love? Thank you guys so much for tuning into the live. This is 20 Questions with Jay, and I'm here with the lovely lover, honey, friend. So please make sure to go to her page and subscribe and make sure to engage with her content because you are going to be in for a treat. I promise you. All right, honey. So the next question that I have for you here is if you can have coffee with a person dead or alive, who would it be and what would you ask them?
Coffee with a person dead or alive. What do I ask them? I'm like, girl, don't say that. I'm beginning to think I'm a very controversial person. I'm thinking Nipsey and yeah, uh, Nipsey. Let's just yeah, Nipsey and his unfinished projects. That's what I'm gonna say.
Girl. So what would you ask him?
um, I don't want to say.
That's fine. That's no problem. I'm glad you was
Yeah,
able to
like
say
not
Nipsey.
even just because it's a secret.
That's
Like
a really good answer, and that can honestly like go really really deep. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
yeah,
to the point where we're gonna get flagged. That's what I don't want to say. That's
yeah,
it.
girl.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So the next question I have for you here is: if you were taught something at a young age that you know now or wish you knew sooner, what would it be?
Repeat it again.
If you were taught something at a young age that you know now or wish you knew now that can like change your life for like better growing up, what do you think it would be?
I don't think I have any one particular thing off the top of my head, but one thing that I've been thinking about a lot lately and how I can play a better role in that going forward is basically like, and it could be just my culture or I don't know, Black culture as a whole, but I feel like for my generation, the elders could have done a better job of they often say like don't do this, but they
Yeah.
never say why.
Why? Yeah. That's
So
real.
maybe if you
Yeah.
had added the why to it, I wouldn't have been so open to like my human mind wouldn't have been so curious to or tempted to do otherwise, right?
Hmm.
So and now that I'm older and I'm connecting the dots, I'm like, well, that you could have just said that.
Yeah.
You could have just said
Yeah.
that, and that could have saved me like a lifetime of setbacks, like you were saying earlier. Like I could have been better prepared for the world if you had just
Hmm.
said why.
Yeah. And honestly, a lot of people tend to do that. And
Hey, the five Gs. That's my
I do
girl.
believe
That's my girl.
that. Oh, hey, how you doing, love? Please make sure that your devil's having the screen and making
Thanks for
sure that
coming
you're
out.
showing my girl some love. This is Honey Lover Friend, and she is on 20 Questions for Jay. So if you guys don't know her, please go over to her page and check her out. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you check out her content because you are going to love it, okay?
Sorry, but I cut
So,
you. What were you gonna say?
oh, I forgot.
I was saying
Forgot.
that they should have told us why instead of just saying don't
Oh,
do.
yeah, I completely agree with that. I feel like I feel like the reason why I really agree with that heavy is because I honestly think that has something to do with them. I feel like that's more so of trauma with them, because most
Hmm.
people they can say that like a saying that a lot of people know is don't touch the stove because it'll burn you or something like that,
Hmm.
whatever the saying is. At least that's like more so of letting you know what will happen before you do it. But most people like to find out for themselves. Most people tend to think that, well, maybe you did it a type of way and I can do it better. You know what I'm saying? And probably still end up in the same predicament, but you never really gave like a story behind it. Like maybe if people told their story more, it would make us like
Exactly.
really realize like what happened. Like give us the detail of what you mean. Because most people, I don't know. I think it has a lot to do with people not going to therapy or something, child. I don't know. But I do
That's a
know
part
for
of
me.
it.
Mhm.
Sorry, that's a part of it, but an underlying issue is actually like the what is it called? The post traumatic slave syndrome. So
Mm.
yes and no. So at this point, maybe in our generation, we're more better prepared to address it, like face our problems and find remedies, whereas they didn't necessarily have the tools and resources or even the time to do so. So to an extent, it's no fault of their own because they have unhealed trauma. But
Yeah.
at the same time, like you essentially set us up for failure.
Yeah. And it's wild because some people don't even realize it. Yeah. I
Yeah,
feel
they're
like
gonna have to heal their own trauma now. Like, should I have to heal my own trauma now in order to invest in the next generation? So we're essentially still just
going in
behind when
this
you look at
it's
society as a
almost like
whole.
a cycle that is
Yeah,
like not broken. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. But for the question that I asked you, I honestly believe I thought of that question because I thought of it thinking on myself. And I honestly do believe for me, if I knew something younger that I know more of today that can possibly like somewhat shift or change how I am now, I think it would be more so of learning or somebody teaching me money management, like how to
for
really
sure.
manage money. I feel like if I knew that at a young age, I would definitely be like way more advanced and I would have probably like met a lot of people because I can really like get far once I'm really like more like informed on what's going on. I feel like I would have dug into a lot of more things knowing that I'm more like strategize and it kind of plays a role in a lot of different things, like where
For,
you want to put your money, like how you want to do certain like especially in this like day and age where money kind of matters a lot, so yeah.
for sure.
So the next question I have here for you is, what do you think this world, wow, it literally runs right into what I was going to say. What do you think this world would be like if money didn't exist?
Mm. I want to say freedom, but let me think about that. I want to say freedom. I want to say that we would be more free. We would be more loving, more open, more caring. Um, and then maybe there's the religious side of me. It's just feeling like people are corrupt, society is corrupt, and sin has existed since the beginning of time. So there would always be some type of way people would find to kind of like with ill intent sabotage whatever we have going on. So even if we didn't have money, we were still exchanging goods, right? And still people are greedy, and that's just kind of like human temptation and all those things. But off the rip, I think that if we didn't have money, we would be a lot more caring, a lot more free, caring, and welcoming because Yeah, not necessarily the money. Like money is the root of all evil, but
Mhm.
the love of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah. So Kenneth said, I was a dual major in college, corporate finance, what?
Political
Oh,
science.
political science, yet I work in the IT field now. And then he said, I find that Black community in general needs a lot of good quality financial advice.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would debate that. Yeah,
I don't think
we've
so
made
either.
progress. We've made progress, but we're not there yet. And collectively, I almost, I was gonna say they're not like us. I'm not like you. I'm not American. I'm Canadian, right? So we also have different history, and also with my Caribbean background as well, right? But I feel like we have made significant strides, but we're still very young as a community as a whole. And so we definitely have a longer way to go. Whether we're on this side or that side, I feel like we're still learning how to most effectively work in like unity. And so we still have a lot more progress to make, but we're not far. We're not too far. But we're just essentially getting started, is what I'm trying to say. We're still very young as a
Yeah.
society if you look at it from the grand scheme of things. So we're on our way.
Hmm. So the next question I have here for you is, what do you think about before you fall asleep?
Falling asleep. I think about falling asleep before I fall asleep because I want to sleep so bad, but the sleep doesn't want me. I want the sleep doesn't want me. I don't know. That's what I think about.
It's funny because when I have a hard time falling asleep, what I do is I literally just start dreaming. Like I just like create like a story in my head or a dream in my head, and like I end up falling asleep just literally carrying on with that dream. It's so weird, but
No,
yeah.
that's
I feel
interesting.
like I feel like I can like it's so weird to say, but I honestly do feel like I can control my dreams, and I've been doing it for a really long time. Like I remember my dreams from when I was younger because I literally kind of controlled it. You know what I'm saying? Like I never at one point I wasn't dreaming at all. And so I just started making up my own dreams. And I would just be dreaming, and in my dream I have a really wild story behind that, child. But yeah, so all right. So my next question that I have for you here is you posted a video on your page where you was really going through a lot. The video was when you had like the faucet was leaking in the back and everything, and it kind of scared me. But what scared me the most is the fact that you had your comments off. Why
Mm.
did you decide to do that, but still wanted to put out the video?
Okay, so earlier when you were asking me the question, remember I said I sometimes I put my stuff out and I just put them on private, right?
Yeah,
So on multiple occasions, okay, so on multiple occasions, I have tapped into that subject line. Remember, I was saying like I did not want to talk about this anymore, but
yeah,
for me, I feel like the overall experience of that. I don't know if we can actually get into all of that right now, but the experience I feel like is rooted in my purpose. So as much as I didn't choose it, it chose me.
mm,
And so the more I am pulling away from it, I feel like I'm holding myself back, right? And I also feel like I don't want my experiences to have been in vain. So
mm,
when I speak to them, then I'm releasing them because
yeah,
because I told the story multiple times, and there's different things that I have either added or omitted to the story that are sensitive. I don't know if you ever saw a video of me speaking about monitoring spirits. So that's another thing, right? One part of it is I don't want to be vulnerable and put my life experiences online for people to use them against me or consider them as a weakness. So that's one reason. The reason why I turned off the comments is because I needed it to be explicitly clear that I wasn't seeking anything from me presenting that information. So, you know, when people talk about like clout chasing or whatever, or
Mhm.
what did they say I was doing? They said I was um, weaponizing my trauma. I think I said that in that video as well.
Mm.
And so I am releasing the information. I'm releasing the trauma. I'm shedding it. I'm letting it go. And I
Yeah.
don't need any confirmation or otherwise when I do that. So that's part of the I don't want any negative or positive comments really to distract me from the reason why I put out the information. And like I don't like it wasn't for me cuz for the other people who are a part of that storyline, they might feel like I'm doing this for attention or clicks or whatever, and that is not the case. So I just completely ruled that out. And I said what I
I
said.
can see.
A lot of the
Mhm.
videos are just private. I didn't necessarily delete them. So if it's for me
Mhm.
to speak to them again, I can always do that. But
Mhm.
I feel like most of the time, no, I feel a lot of the time when I choose to put them on private, I feel like to my core, it reached whoever it needed to reach. So for me, if it's for, oh, sorry. For me, if it's for any one person to gain something from whatever I shared, that's good enough. I don't need it
Mhm.
to reach the masses.
Yeah.
It's for
I
whoever it's for.
can Yeah, I can definitely agree, and I knew that's exactly why you did it, and it just scared me. That really scared me. I'm not even gonna hold you because I
But
have been
why? Like, what
watching
exactly?
because it was just like I was watching your videos like faithfully as you were posting, you know what I'm saying? I love going through like all of my subscribers and just like keeping up with them as much as I can. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of in a way just felt very random, and it just kind of felt
Mhm,
like you were holding a lot in for that video to come out. And then when I seen that, I wanted to comment, and that's when I seen
mhm,
that the comments was off, and I know for sure that you didn't like not know the comments was
mhm,
off. I know you turned the comments off. And so
mhm,
it just really freaked me out, like, and then it just was like, oh girl, just like listening to the water in the background, like, girl, I literally was watching that video and I literally cried, like, because it just like really like touched me, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So I understand, you know, I completely understand why you turned the comments off. That's why in the
mhm,
next video that you posted, I had
mhm.
wrote you in the comments and I was like, are you okay? Like, because I still
Yeah,
wanted
and
to
I
reach out to
appreciate those
you,
who did.
you
I
know?
appreciate those who did, you know, overextend to be able to communicate that much. It wasn't that I didn't want to hear what anybody had to say. It's just I had to say it for myself. If you remember the title, it said God said to stand on obedience. So it was just
Mhm.
like a matter of a command and not necessarily from me, right?
Mhm.
I and honestly, I don't know if this is for me to share, but honestly, like since that experience, I've definitely shed a lot of weight. And I feel like I'm gonna take the video off private for a little bit. If anybody wants to go back and watch it, that's in the live right now because we're just talking. You don't know what I'm talking about, but it's not a secret. It's just I feel like with me having released it, I also reap the benefits. Like I was obedient. As I said, God said to
Mhm.
stand on obedience, and I saw the fruit of that. I'm in the
Yeah.
fruit of that right now.
Mhm. I feel like that's one thing that I do love about YouTube, but
Yes,
that's
Terry.
also one thing that
That's exactly.
I hate about it. Hmm?
Oh, sorry. I was just acknowledging Terry and saying, yeah, that's
Oh,
exactly it. Just it
yeah.
wasn't a time
Mhm.
for comments and like it's not something that's new to me. There's things that I've spoken to before. I've done therapy, all of these things. So I didn't need necessarily acknowledgement. I just needed to be obedient.
Yeah.
But
Thank you,
sorry, what were
Kenneth. I
you saying?
appreciate you. Kenneth said that was an excellent question. Yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely was. What I was saying was, that's one thing that I do love about YouTube, this space being able to kind of be like an open diary in a way, to be able to release a lot of things that you keep inside, because when you're releasing it you're by yourself, you know, and it makes you feel more comfortable to be able to speak just to the camera, and then to put it out there is kind of the scary part of just like letting it go. And
Mm,
that at the same time is allowed to like that reaches so many people, and sometimes it reaches the people that it needs to reach. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Someone that needs to hear that, like someone that feels like nobody really
Oh.
understands, just to find someone that understands completely, you know, that can like be in a way a blessing for someone else. So I was really happy that you was able to do that. But that's also something that I don't like about YouTube as well, because some people take that and they ruin it by wanting it to be clickbait, by doing all of this stuff,
Correct.
knowing that people are going to want to tune into something that seems like is a trauma for you, and you're expressing yourself in this way, and it's probably all a made up lie or whatever, you know. So I it's like when it comes to YouTube, it's like a bittersweet kind of thing.
Exactly that. Kenneth, usually it's viewed as a hypocritical stance. I didn't know that. When you turn off the comments, and clarification on that topic was much appreciated. Thank you. But yeah, I'll take the video off private for a little bit. The other reason why I also took the video down is because in my word of the year, I was speaking about being intentional, and because that video was so impromptu, it didn't necessarily speak to it wasn't necessarily becoming of me, and because I did say I just had a job loss and I need to look for a new job, people will use your vulnerabilities against you, and I just didn't want to put myself
Yeah.
in that position. But it's not
Yeah.
a secret, I'm not ashamed, it is what it is. But
Hmm.
yeah, because I've also experienced a wide range of trauma, I don't necessarily want my content to feel triggering as much as it may be helpful for the right person. That I'm just trying to put up safeguards.
Hmm. Yeah, I believe it. It really takes a lot of strength to be able to really open up in that way. You know what I'm saying? Like it honestly does. Like just for you to even be able to really say it out loud, because a lot of people think to themselves, and when you actually speak out loud, it's really relieving, but it's more relieving when you're able to speak knowing that someone will listen. You know, when you do something like that. Hey, what's going on, Little Dream? You are so sweet. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the channel. This is 20 Questions with Jay, and I am here with Honey Lover Friend. Please make sure to go and subscribe to her channel and check out her content. She is amazing, and you are going to be very pleased. Trust me. If you like fashion, like Loner Dreams, she is amazing. She likes to try on pieces and all type of stuff like that. So she will be right up your alley. So the
And
next
also,
question.
this is we in one of the previous lives you discussed that it would be an ongoing series, and we're also trying to do it across different channels as well. So
Yeah.
if
Mm-hmm.
I want to take it on and interview people live on my
Yes.
channel, it's kind of the same
Mm-hmm.
thing. We're all learning from each
Yeah.
other, learning more about each other, and
Mm-hmm.
also trying to promote each other's platforms.
Yeah, that's what I want it to be like. So I want to be able to kind of have it be like a start here first on my page, and then we kind of just branch off. Like I will go over to you, and then you will do live and get names and do stuff like that. That is supposed to be to promote small channels to help them grow. And the reason why I came up with this idea, I came up with it a little while ago. I actually spoke on it on a live about like a month ago that I was going to start doing it. And it just so happened that I ended up starting around this time. But most people, when they have a niche, it's hard for them to be able to do things outside of their niche without the fear of like their views going down because they've been stuck doing this one thing that's really bringing them attention. And when they switch things up, it probably isn't like the best for their page. And they're just trying to keep that going on, or they probably don't know the right way of bringing it on when you're doing something different. So I just feel like this way, doing it live and having people be able to like ask you questions is a great way to be able to know who you're dealing with in a way that doesn't hurt their channel and just allows you to really see a different side, because sometimes when you're doing your page you're not showing a full side of you if you're only showing this one side. So I think that this is like just a great way to be able to pick someone's brain. And you'll probably end up finding out that this person, not from looking on their page, but being able to know them themselves, is someone that you really want to get into. And that in total will make you want to fall in love with their content because you then fall in love with the person, you know? So yeah, so what was it?
So
Oh,
Kenneth asked, may I ask how you came up with your channel's name? All right, so Honey Lover Friend. Um, Honestly, how exactly I came up with the name, I think I was just going through different options, different things that sounded good. And I feel like this was just like one of the very first things that I came up with. It sounds very similar to Homie Lover Friend by that artist that should not be named, but it definitely has no relation. Um, it's something that rang a bell to me, or just rang really familiar to me, and I stuck with it because um, in coming up with the channel concept, it had a really strong sentimental value to me, and I wanted to make sure that I honored that. And so that's also why I've been so persistent with pursuing my channel and content, whatever direction it takes, um, because yeah, it's in respect to that situation. And without that, I would not be here today. And yeah, this current channel went through a few different phases. I had Honey Lover Friend, the brand itself, for the past maybe 11 years or so. When I started this new channel, because I said I had another channel before, that was Honey Lover Friend. And I thought, okay, let me try something different that's more personal. And so I stuck with Noir Cole. And then I just decided to scrap everything and just make everything under one umbrella. And we're just running with Honey Lover Friend. And yeah, I have so much like I literally have like a stamp, like, paper stamps, everything branded with all of that. So I should just stick with it. That it's really my heart.
That's what's up. I like that. Aw, I really like this interview. This is really cute.
Thank
Okay, so the next question that I have for you here is, if you knew your death date today, like if somebody told you the day that you was going to die, what would be the first thing you will do and why?
I honestly would probably just sit in my own solace, like just sit in my own space and ground myself and connect with myself and God. And that's it. Really, in this life, I don't necessarily have much to fear. Like, I don't have a fear of death because of how much I'm grounded in my faith. So, there isn't necessarily a fear of dying if you know you're going to a better place, right?
Hmm.
So I wouldn't be scrambling to do anything. Or if you recall my some of my previous videos as well, I'm completely estranged from my entire family essentially. And so there's no particular loved one. No, it's just me. And I appreciate that for me. So yeah, just me and God. And I'll see you soon. That's it.
Yeah, I can definitely relate because when I wrote that question down, I thought the same. I thought the same. And I kind of think that, well, I can't say everybody, but I feel like a lot of people will kind of want to sit to themselves and just think. And I feel like if anything, they'll think more so on everything that's happened in their life and they'll probably think on things that they wish they would have done, and they'll probably think on like what they're about to do now. Like
Right.
just like
I think
knocking everything out, like live with no fear at this point.
Right, and I think if we embody that in the present, then you are just sitting with yourself in a place of peace, ready to go and meet your maker. If we release all of those things, if we are present, if we live in the present, then you don't have any regrets. That's one of the major things that I learned from my grandfather's passing. Like, he's the first major loss that I experienced, and he's the closest person to me in my lifetime. And so, just observations with other people around. I don't want to say anything that's offensive, but it's just my truth, right? I feel like a lot of people, when they experience death of a very close loved one, they live in regrets because they didn't give the person their everything. They didn't give the person
Mhm.
their all. They didn't have a full experience of that person. So when they pass, then you just sit with shoulda, coulda, wouldas. And for me, I didn't have that experience with my grandfather because I lived very present with him, and I gave him everything that I could give him at that point in time. And I'm very content with that. And so I was able, as difficult as it was, and we're reaching a death anniversary very soon, in a few days. So as difficult as it was, and as difficult as it is from year to year, it changes. I am very content with my experience of him.
Yeah. That was so beautiful. Aw.
Thank you.
Yes. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This is 20 Questions with Jay, and I am here with Honey Lover Friend. Make sure you go and subscribe to her channel, check her out. Please enjoy her content. You guys, this is going to be the last question of this segment. So, the last question I have for you here is what or what's a moment that you'll cherish forever?
Mm. It's probably going to be my grandfather over again because that's just what's really heavy on my heart right now. As I said, we're reaching the 10-year anniversary of his passing, so that's a huge milestone in terms of healing in and of itself too. But um, sorry, what was the question specifically again?
Yes, the question was, what's your most cherished memory?
Yeah, I feel like it was accepting the closure of that experience. Yeah, I really can't speak any more to that. Just accepting the closure of that experience. Not necessarily accepting his passing, but you know what it was? It was me acknowledging the fact that because it was very, very quick, he went from like basically not being ill whatsoever, like his entire life, being strong and independent to like within a month becoming critically ill. And then we found out that he had cancer. And then we found it was stage 4 cancer. And then he had like a few days to live. So all this happened within a span
Oh,
of like a
wow.
month, right? And so for me, it was really important to understand that it was necessary for his personal experience for it to happen that quickly. I would have never been able to watch him suffer any longer than that. And that wasn't for him. It wasn't for him to experience. And why should we, just because we want to have that extra time with that person, right? Want to watch them endure. We want one more day. We want one more second. We want one more minute. And for me, it was closure and understanding that that was the best experience for him. Yeah. And so just accepting that in those last days and just, yeah, holding him closer to my heart now more than ever, right? We're
Hmm.
closer now more than ever.
Yeah. Aw. Yes, girl. So now that the questions are over, do you have anything that you want to be able to say to the viewers that are going to be listening to you?
I think join me on my channel, watch me on my journey. I'm forever going to be a work in progress and we can just grow and glow together. That's the whole story behind the Glow Print series on my channel as well. So that's it. Just I'm just here. I guess we're all here for a good time, not a long time. And I'm really big on community building and supporting one another. So that's it.
Yeah, me too. I'm
And
really
thank you,
big
Jay, for
on.
having me.
You
This
are
has been an
so
amazing
welcome.
experience. It's
Yes.
definitely been like something to check off on my bucket list. And I really appreciate it.
You are more than welcome. I'm so happy that you was able to join. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation.
Thank you. So, do we go on my channel now and do the same thing?
Do you want to do it tonight?
Do you want to reschedule? We've been speaking for over an hour. So it's up
It's
to
up
you.
to you. We can do it right now if you want to.
Okay,
Or if you want
everybody
to
meet me over at my
reschedule,
channel. Sorry?
okay. Yeah, we could do it now if you want to. Yeah, if you're up for
Yeah,
it,
let's
I'm
do it.
down. Okay.
Let's do it. I have my
You
water.
guys, thank you so much for tuning into this segment. This is 20 Questions with Jay, and I'm here with Honey Lover Friend. Please make sure to tune into her channel. Please subscribe and check out her content. If you want to be able to tune into part two, which she is going to be asking me questions, please feel free to go over to her channel when she will get on live tonight. Thank you guys so much and have an amazing night. Bye, sweetie.
Thank you. Bye.